Hello and welcome back to CLUBAVISION with myself, Lisa Nash, as we continue this marathon session known as the Southport Weekender.
Hi, I'm Roy Ayers and you're watching CLUBAVISION on ITV.
Dave Morales. Right, one question I want to ask you. You always say your first love is slamming up the dance floor, just playing those tunes. But these days, you're just remixing all the time. So where'd you get the most satisfaction?
I enjoy playing a lot, you know, and that's my first passion. It's what got me into making music to begin with. So, you know, now I'm going to calm down on the touring for a bit for the rest of the year and go into the studio and get busy for a little bit. I'm traveling a lot, doing some parties in New York, a couple of things, some underground things with Louis Vega and Tony Humphries.
So have you ever played here at Southport before?
No, this is actually my first time.
Have you heard anything about it?
I've heard Southport Weekend is a religious thing that goes on every year that people come out to have a good time, right. And you gotta really be harder for a good time to stay in the chalets, you know.
What's the biggest audience that you've played to?
Biggest audience has to be probably 60,000 people. 60,000 people? Yeah, at Euro Pride in Paris. Got this giant video screen so that are filming you, so people that can't see your little tiny self prefer to be right in the middle of it all. I want to sweat like them. I want to be right next to them. I want the drink spilling.
You want them hanging.
I want to be worried about the drink spilling on the decks. You know what I mean?
Do you?
Well, not really, but that's how close I like to be. You know what I mean? I hate to be that far away from an audience. You lose contact of what's going on. You're not in the party. And I think it's very important to be part of the party, you know what I mean? Because I like to enjoy myself as well. What productions are you doing at the moment? Well, I'm working on the next Face single. Getting ready to go into the studio, spend 2 weeks with the Pet Shop Boys, writing and producing some stuff for their new album. And, you know, I'm going to work on the Face album, which is more for the dance floor and. Face album? We're gonna do a Face album for sure. Total just for the floors, you know, and be a lot of different things, you know, but it'd be strictly hardcore club music. So what releases are coming out through the label Def Mix? We have Joy, which is Kathy Brown. We have a Studio 54 called the Pamphlet House. We have Bobby D'Ambrosio, The Spirit. So where are you going to be on New Year's Eve? Renaissance. Now can I ask the questions? Waste your time fighting blind of despair. Hold on to your love. Like wicked. Messy.
I like Southport. Evening and welcome.
There's about twice as many people here tonight though, definitely.
So what brings you to Southport anyway?
Well, definitely not the men. Definitely not the men.
Kleshay.
I might give a toss.
Taka Lily. My Indian princess.
Woo!
I think we're at the motorway services on the M6, aren't we? There's a shop and some amusements over there.
And it's absolutely wicked. Even the two-piece slot machines are brilliant.
No, I'm from Preston. And I've worked in Southport for about 10 years, and I've never been to Southport Weekender. And we had the chance of coming this weekend, and I've only just got here actually, and it's really fun.
It's not as good as Leeds, obviously, but they are good.
So why didn't you come last night? Why only tonight?
I'm a lightweight.
Anybody that's not come up, gotta make sure they come up again.
No, I live in Leeds, but I party in London.
Right, it's me again, Quick Joe. What's this? Vicious Circle.
Who's your favourite DJ?
Tony Blackburn.
I'm gonna go to Emporium. SW1, innit?
I'm Dave Lee Travis, he's a good DJ as well.
Hi, everybody's going, hi, and it's almost like a great big youth club for you. I was good at football. I was the first girl he sent off that was lip gaming. Alright.
I'll have the prawn cocktail.
The sound man's sorting it out.
The sound man's sorting out a chalet. You heard it here first.
Trevor, if you're listening, man, Saturday night, that's when it's happening.
I really don't know I'm here, so I'll probably get into trouble now.
See you next year.
Thanks, Mikey. Thank you.
Hi, I'm David Morales, and I'm chilling here with CLUBAVISION.
the back of a limo, just in case you couldn't tell. We've got Taka Boom and we've got Tom Hayes. You've been on a tour for quite a while.
Yeah.
You're touring with Prince and your sister, Shaka Khan's
the
sister.
artist formerly known as.
Yes, sorry. Why did
we call him Artie.
name?
Artie. It's a label related with Warner Brothers. I mean, they owned his name, and yeah, once he severed himself from the label, you know, he just said, well, you guys can keep the name. I was doing backing vocals with Shaka, who was my sister.
Right.
And that was my main reason for coming on board. I mean, had the artist wanted me to do it for him, I would have as well. But we also ended up, of course, all being on stage together doing things.
Talk about Articulate. How did you meet?
Tom needed a female vocalist, and this is how I get a lot of my work, just through sort of word of mouth thing. You know, people need a vocalist, they need someone to do a session. And they usually find that I'm probably the one to do it because I do all the backing vocals first. You know, I'm the one person that does it all. Are you coming my way? Anyway, that's the song. It's the name of the song.
Are you hoping for an album?
Here in the UK, I find that the that the little single, non-exclusive deal with the singles that one comes after the other is a lot more lucrative. You know what I mean? I mean, if you get like a major label that puts an album out on you, then you usually end up just you know, you've got to either be phenomenal or you're nothing. They shelf you. Quite fancy the way things are going now with this. I mean, I've got 4 or 5 different projects happening now at the same time, and they're all non-exclusive, and they're all on brand new baby labels, which are independent, you know.
So what's been the pinnacle of your career so far?
Being able to still go on and to be able to do this and to touch people and to get dance floors popping.
Tell us a little bit about the label.
We've got some acts coming in that's involved with the Master at Work Boys, Blue Train. We're working with a lot of European artists. We've got a girl called Olivia Ducciano that no one's ever heard of. She's got the most amazing voice in the world. We're a little independent. We do what we do. We've been invited here tonight and we're going to rock it.
It's all about
How you doing?
I'm gonna tell you like James Brown said, I feel good, like I knew that I would. Right?
What do you think about Southport?
They should have me here every other year. 4 years ago, I was here with Guru and Donald Byrd, and it was fantastic. I'm still sweating, but I love it. So you don't mind if I wipe up? I want to look good for the camera. I want to tell people how you can beat dehydration, especially if you're on stage. What you do is you're totally dehydrated. You look at the audience like I'm looking at the camera, you go like this. Even though I'm smiling, I'm dehydrated, right? But nobody knows it because they're going, wow, isn't he having a good time to be so hot and sweating and everything? But I'm going.
Rumor has it that you're going to record some material with James Taylor Quartet.
Considering recording when we were in Jazz Cafe. I'll be there on the 30th of November through the 6th. James starts there on the 7th. So we'll probably do some recording, possibly on the night of the 7th at the Jazz Cafe or prior to that in the daytime.
You record live?
It's the best way we get the best groove, don't you think?
How do you find the people of today, the youngsters, how do they take to your music?
Well, one of the things you have to do, one has to do this. One has to stay 34 years old. I've been 34 for the last 18 years. Music is the greatest therapy in the world because it keeps you young and vibrant and going. I don't care what anybody says. It really is a spark. I've had people come to me and say, my mother and father introduced me to your music. I say, well, thank you very much. And, of course, they enjoyed it. So I get new people all the time.
How many albums have you recorded today?
Altogether, albums and CDs, total 82. Some people say, Roy, you know, I have all of your albums. I say, how many do you have? I have 35. I say, oh, you got a few more to go. I've done 82. And they go, wow. And I start naming the old ones, right? And some of the ones they haven't even heard of. They go, wow. If you want to go back to the old stuff, everybody loves the sunshine. When I was young and running wild with a little beard. My life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. I've got a new album coming out in the first of the year, and it's called Smooth Jazz, that of which I'm playing. This is the first album I've done in many years that I just play all vibes on. So it's really nice.
No singing?
No singing whatsoever. When you're doing something all the time and you're just doing it and you have the same feeling all the time, it's good, okay? But then when you get a special feeling on top of the feeling that was there already, then you're over-feeling or you're over-exerting yourself. You're giving yourself that extra thing that everybody says, wow, I got to do that again. I got to do that again. I'm stuck on that. It was good. So when you play beyond your normal, you're playing abnormally. And therefore, you're giving the people abnormal things. So the people will say, wow, this is abnormal. and everybody's grooving because everybody's got an abnormal vibe. Therefore, wow, this is going to be fantastic when we record it live because it's going to be stupid. We call it stupid good. You ever heard of that?
No.
Stupid good is when it's so stupid and good that you go, ooh, I love it.
Tell me about one of your favorite moments, one of your most memorable experiences.
Oh, that's easy. I was performing at the Village Gate in New York City in 1978, and my booking agent told me that Lionel Hampton was coming down to see me. So I had arranged for another guy who can't play the vibes to dress up in a gorilla outfit. And so I was on stage, and Lionel Hampton's in the audience, and I said, I need a vibe player to come up here and play some vibes. And the gorilla came on stage, and I beat him off because he couldn't play the vibes. I said, I really need a real vibe player. Is Lionel Hampton in the house? And he came up, and we played. And we had already rehearsed his tunes and everything. And we played Flying Home, and everybody went crazy, completely insane. It was a groove. Because the old man, at that time, he was a young man, but he's an old man now. The old man is so bad. And if you ask your mothers and fathers, all you young people in the UK, you ask your mother and father, your grandfather and grandmother, or maybe your great-grandfather and great-grandfather, if they're around, whether you ask them about Lionel Hampton, they will tell you he's a swinger.
What do you think about jazz music and that that's made now?
I think that jazz will continue to evolve. I think it's going to get smoother and more mellow. It's going to start to mellow out and be real smooth and real, what they call cool. Cool, smooth jazz. And I'll be playing cool, smooth jazz vibes. Roy Ayers, the Vibe Man, live, loving you all the time. I've been sampled by most of the great and upcoming rap artists. They don't write music. They don't write, they just write words, and so they have to pick music, and they pick my music. I think I've been sampled now more than James Brown. At least I've had more sampled hit than James Brown and George Clinton. Sorry, James. Sorry, George. That's the way it goes, baby. Somebody's gonna beat me one day. It doesn't matter. But it's part of the structure, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, you talk about people like Mary J. Blige and a Tribe Called Quest. My God, I can't even mention them all. So many. Erykah Badu, she did Searching. She didn't even sample it. She recorded it straight out. So all these wonderful things are happening to me in recent times. So this is a wonderful, I guess, call it a gift. You know, from people who admire my music and love my music and give me respect by recording it. Many of the great guys that I perform with, I've learned a lot by being with my peers, Grover Washington Jr., Donald Byrd, just so many people, even Rick James on the other side, because you get ideas and special moments with different people, and it's an interesting life. And I can't discredit anybody, no matter what kind of bag they're in, whether they're rockers or bluesers or jazzers or whatever. They're all musicians, and everybody has something to say. You know, people are going to hear about this show.
Are they?
Okay, they are. They're going to hear about this show because it's great.
Glamma Kid, how you doing?
Hey, yo, what's up? Dun, 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 dun. You're walking in the deadly zone.
Right, you've become quite a well-respected figure in UK reggae market. Why do you think your music's been so influential?
Well, basically, it's just that, you know, we're taking what's happening on the streets and putting it back onto wax, you know what I mean, to build some fat tracks, fusing different types of music together with the dancehall aspect to, you know, bring some new elements to the music. We're here to pump dancehall music into the mainstream market, whichever way we have to go. Whether we have to use pop instrumentals with my dancehall style chatting, or whether we have to use classical instrumentals with my dancehall style chatting, but we're gonna do it.
A couple of your tracks, Machino, Iceberg, you seem very obsessed, infected, influenced by the fashion bug.
Basically, it's just taking fashion from the streets and, you know, how can I say, alternating it and putting it into clothes.
New album out beginning next year. Tell us a little bit about that.
It should be called something like Kidology.
Kidology?
Glamour Kidology. You know, it's gonna have fashion concept on it, sexual, you know, morals. Also, there's gonna be, you know, stuff about, you know, what I've been through, experiences, street life, all the rest of it. You know, just stuff that we learn. You know, we picked up along the way.
Will you be releasing any more tracks before Christmas, maybe?
You give me the sweetest. I can't sing it as good as Shola, but January we should be bringing you.
You featured on Much Love, wasn't you?
That's right. I featured on Much Love, and by January you'll be hearing Sweetest Taboo, which is covered by me and yours truly, Shola again.
So what about a link up with Beanie Man?
Oh yeah, that's in the pipeline, definitely in the pipeline.
Anything been recorded yet?
Not yet, not as yet. We've recorded with Beanie Man's producer, Jeremy Harden, but we're looking like maybe before the end of the year to like get something done.
So what do you do to relax?
Sit back, put up my feet and watch the box.
And what's your favourite soap at the moment?
My favourite soap, Imperial Leather.
Erick Morillo, hello.
Hello out there.
How you doing?
CLUBAVISION fans.
Do you
People
know?
watching TV really late in England. I love it.
Let's talk about Subliminal.
Yeah, Subliminal. Well, that's actually a label that I opened up about a year ago, and we've been actually very successful. Actually, next week we'll make a full year. We've had 12 releases, and all of them have been accepted very well by the mass population, which is really great. We have people like Jocelyn Brown with the Mob on there, the Piano Heads, the Constipated Monkeys, yeah. We also do stuff with Octavia Lambertus, who was featured on the Jose Nunes track. We also signed Joey Negro, which he did a record with Taka Boom. She's performing tonight, which is Shaka Khan's sister, you know, Taka Boom, Shaka Khan. Yeah, let me rock it, Shaka. No, anyway.
Any releases coming up?
Yeah, we actually have Harry Chucho Romero featuring Anaya. It's called Just Can't Get Enough. We have the new Richard F, which is called Follow Me Sugar. I actually have a new album coming out at the beginning of next year. Erick Morillo. No title yet, it's unnamed.
What would you say your producer signature is?
I would say kind of, you know, real to real, and that whole adventure that I had about 4 years ago. We're gonna go back to, you know, what I love, which is the underground house music, you know, and then if people like it, they'll play, you know, and that's the way it is.
What was your first club that you played in?
The first club, Shanghai Reds in Weehawken, New Jersey. It's like right on the water. The whole wall was glass, and New York City was right there. And you're on the other side of the river, so at night everything was lit up. It was really beautiful. And that's where I kind of got my break as well, as far as musically. That's where I met the people that I met that took me into the whole music business.
So where else do you play in the States? You play in New Jersey, New
I have a party in New York called Subliminal. We do it every Thursday. And the greatest thing about that party is that it's not about Erick Morillo or Erick Morillo's acts or his DJs. It's all about the whole industry. So, you know, we've had people like David Morales play there, Tony Humphries, Louis Vega, Armand, DJ Sneak. You know, like what we do is the first 3 hours is given to like not an unknown, but DJs that don't get a chance to play out a lot, you know, because it's really difficult right now in the scene. Yeah. So, you know, we give an opportunity to new DJs to be heard, and then we have like a headliner, and then like I'll close the night, you know, I'll be the resident. Most of the stuff I do is over here in Europe, Switzerland, Spain, Germany, and England. England's like my second home. I love it here. You know why? Because everybody speaks English.
I know you better than you think you know yourself. I know where you're coming from.
That's it, you guys. I've had a top time. I've hung out with some fantastic people. I've pretty much been on top of the world. Well, I will be later on top of England, that is, because I'm flying back to London, and that's that. Hope you guys have enjoyed CLUBAVISION this week with me, Lisa Nash, and I hope to see you real soon. On next week's show, we have our very own Slinky CLUBAVISION Winter Ball at the BIC in Bournemouth. Ministry Magazine's Dance Charts. I catch up with Seb Fontaine and, of course, loads of you lots.